For afternoon tea, we're going to do sandwiches. We're also going to do a pork pie. In our pork pie, we have 50% of sausage meat, 50% of boiled ham hock and apricot and parsley in that mix. We then set it up in the dairy molds, the pastry molds, and freezer, so it's nice and firm. We need a puff pastry. We use the sheets that come in a box. We cut out the base. We cut to number 8, and then we need some rectangular square for the lid. So we start by taking, because we want this to cook quite quickly during service, so we need to make sure the puff pastry, especially the base, is not too thick. And then we use the imaginary pastry brush. Couldn't find one, but we use this one for today. Put a bit of egg yolk in there. Once that is done, we're gonna pick the base as well, just to make sure it doesn't puff up too much. Then we take the little ham hock, then take one of these squares, and we have a little flour on the top of it, and we do the same thing with this. Just thin it up, because the sheets that come, as they're a little bit too thick for what we want. So we have egg yolk around here, and then we put the lid on top. You start by putting all the stretch it a little bit, not too much, and then you go with your hands around, just like you make a ravioli. You make sure all the air comes out of it, and then you end up with a little gentle pitivia. Then you take 3 types of cutter. You start with the first one. Just make sure that's nice and neat, so you get a defined kind of shape of it. Then you put them all together, if I can, and you dip that a little bit on the flour, and then you create your shape. You lift up the 2 center, and then you're going to decide what shape you want. We want cutter number 5, this one. And then we take that off, and this is our little pitivia. At this stage, we put it back in the freezer to make sure it's all set. Then we need to use a pastry brush, and we brush it with egg yolk. We then let it rest again, and then we're going to make a hole in the top, and then score them so it's nice and neatly presentation. That gets stored in the freezer. It takes 8 minutes to cook from defrosters. We need to defrost each day, and then it's just cook, and we keep on cooking as the booking comes in. So we always have the puff pastry, little ham pie ready made for the guest. Thank you very much.